So we'll be having Olatunji Samuel come to speak to us on introduction to Arbitrum and the Arbitrum Technologies and why you should build on Arbitrum. A round of applause for him, please. Thank you very much.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Or let me say GM, because we are Web3 guys. GM, everyone. Thank you so much. I am Olatunji Samuel, and I am community admin at the Arbitrum Foundation. I know some of you might have seen our logo on the banners everywhere at Web3 Lagos conference, and you're wondering what exactly is Arbitrum. I know a lot of us know what Arbitrum is, but this morning I'm here to give us a little talk about Arbitrum and why you should build on Arbitrum. If you're a builder, if you're a creator, there's space for you on Arbitrum. All right, so let me see if this works now. Okay. All right, the previous slide was my agenda. I don't want to go over it. It's just so let me just jump right in because of the time. So I'm going to be talking about a little bit of the history of Arbitrum, where we are coming from, and I think it makes sense to go from the beginning, from Bitcoin, where this blockchain all started, where we started to know about what blockchain is. And the white paper of Bitcoin was launched in 2008. And then comes Ethereum, which Arbitrum is scaling. And Ethereum actually introduced programmable blockchain infrastructure, where, expanding beyond simple value transfer to smart contracts. So with Ethereum, we are introduced to smart contracts, right? So in 2015, a group of students with their professor, who is Ed Felton, who is like a founder of Arbitrum at Off-Chain Labs, we're doing like a research project, like a project work, final year project work. And that was where they worked on Arbitrum. So Arbitrum actually was like a final year project work in a university. So into 2017 as well, the Arbitrum white paper was released, and this is it. So what is Arbitrum? Basically, I know a lot of us know what Arbitrum is, but I'm just going to go over it. Arbitrum is a layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum, and what that means is Ethereum needs to be scaled. Ethereum has the problem of scalability. Ethereum is secure. It is decentralized, but it's not scalable. All right. So what Arbitrum comes to do is to scale Ethereum and make transaction cheaper and faster. That's the meaning of that. All right. So Arbitrum from 2015, where it started up, it became the largest L2, the leading L2 among every other L2 that we know, with the total value secured of $19.7 billion and $5.2 billion in bridged capital, which means that Arbitrum is number one when it comes to layer 2 scaling solution. In 2021, Arbitrum 1 was launched, and that is actually the first chain on Arbitrum chain. And Arbitrum 1 is a roll-up, is built on a roll-up, based on a roll-up model, which rolls up transactions and submits it directly on Ethereum. So that means that transactions are now bundled up, not just one transaction as it's processed on Ethereum. It means that those transactions that are bundled up can now split gas fees, and then it even makes the transaction faster. Instead of you to pay for your one transaction, Arbitrum helps to bundle it up and then process it on Ethereum at the same time, making the transaction fee for those transactions split between those people. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but that is what Arbitrum 1 does. All right, so this is an overview of the Arbitrum 1, and some numbers that we should talk about. The total value secured on Arbitrum currently is about 19 billion, over 19 billion. As well, we have roll-up market share. Arbitrum has 35% roll-up market share and 2 billion plus total transactions, with over $17 billion saved in gas fees. This means that if all the transactions that have been carried out on Arbitrum 1 since 2022 were carried out directly on Ethereum, users would have paid $17 billion plus in gas fees. So you see how huge that is. All right. So also over 5 billion bridge funds are on Arbitrum. I'll tell you why I'm giving you all these numbers. I think this really would mean a lot to builders, but it also mean a lot to everybody. All right. It's also the largest L2 swap amount. I mean, Arbitrum has the largest L2 swap amount on Uniswap, surpassing over $300 billion. We also have the 3 of the 10 largest derivative protocols on Arbitrum, right? And you also have blue chip projects like Uniswap, like just look at them, OpenSea, and also native, very huge native protocols on Arbitrum, like GMX and the likes, Pendu and the likes. And in 2022, another chain was launched called Arbitrum Nova. And why was Arbitrum Nova launched? Was because of applications like games or social apps that needs high volume, like high frequencies. So it uses the AnyTrust technology, unlike Arbitrum One that uses the pure rollup technology. It uses AnyTrust technology, and instead of posting all core data to Ethereum directly, it relies on a data availability committee to store and attest to data, which makes transactions even cheaper and faster on Arbitrum Nova. I hope you get that. So what this means is that a transaction on Arbitrum Nova are cheaper and they are even faster. So for applications like game that needs high frequency, it is okay to build them on Arbitrum Nova. But what it comes with, the trade-off here is true trustlessness, because now you are not posting the core data directly on Ethereum. You are relying on the data availability committee to store and attest to the data you are sharing with on Arbitrum Nova. So just like I said, it's basically for game developers and dApps with high processing rates. All right, so these are like some good metrics that you can consider and why you should, differences between Arbitrum 1 and Arbitrum Nova. So you can see for gas saving on Arbitrum 1, you have 10 to 50 times cheaper gas than Ethereum layer 1. And for Arbitrum Nova, you have it go up to 30 to 150 times. It is, 30 to 150 times cheaper than in layer 1. So it's also very fast. The both chains are fast, very, very fast. With Arbitrum 1 processing up to 40,000 transactions per second. You can also see, like, these are games that are built, very popular games. I don't know if any of us here have played any games on Arbitrum, but you should be familiar with some of these games. All these games are built on Arbitrum Nova. So why should you choose Arbitrum? Like I've been saying, choose Arbitrum because of the low transaction costs, because it is secured by Ethereum. We all know how secure Ethereum is. We all know about consensus mechanism and the likes. And it is also very, the compatibility on Arbitrum is really huge. I'm going to talk about Stylus that brings multi-VM to Arbitrum. So you don't have to know how to write Solidity smart contracts with Solidity. If you know Rust, you can easily deploy your contract on Arbitrum with Stylus. So block speed on Arbitrum is also really fast. We have up to 280 milliseconds on Arbitrum 1. And how is Arbitrum different? It's an optimistic rollup, and all transactions are considered valid. Transactions speed are up to 50 times faster than in L1, and you enjoy the security of Ethereum, just like I said, and also fraud proof in place from day one. Fraud proof have been in place on Arbitrum since the launch of Arbitrum 1. So this is Stylus that I've been talking about. And what Stylus does is it helps developer who are not EVM-based developer. For example, if you are a Web2 developer, you know how to write code in C, C++, you don't need to learn Solidity to deploy on Arbitrum. All you need to do is use Stylus, and then you can write your smart contracts in the languages you know, like Rust, C, and C++. Recently, we had a cohort with Web3 Bridge. Some guys are actually taking the course at Web3 Bridge, a Rust cohort, and they also learned how to how to write smart contracts using Rust and deploy it on Arbitrum with Stylus. So Stylus is a means, it's something that brings multi-VM to you, to developers. So like I said, it gives multi-VM. And in 2023, Arbitrum Orbit was also launched. And Arbitrum Orbit, what it means, what it's all about is that it helps you launch your own custom chain. So you may not just want to build a product on Arbitrum. You may say you want to build your own chain, but you want it to settle on Arbitrum. It can even settle on Ethereum. You can either make it settle on Arbitrum 1 or Nova or Ethereum, being an L2, but you are deploying it still on Arbitrum. You can do that through Arbitrum Orbit. So it gives you your own full customization. You can customize your own gas fees. You can have your own decentralized, maybe DAO for your projects, for your chain. So it gives you total privacy and customization. All right, I won't go over this because I already talked about main benefits of Arbitrum Orbit. It helps you to deploy your own chain, helps you to have your own, what's it called, tokenization, tokenomics, and so on and so forth. So it's very good. And we have a lot of chains building their own, a lot of protocols building their own Orbit chains, like Ape, we have a lot of them. So this is like an overview of the Orbit ecosystem on Arbitrum. All right, so Robinhood also kind of like announced recently. I don't know if you know. Does anybody know Robinhood? Okay, great. So Robinhood announced recently that they would be building their own chain, L2 chain on Arbitrum very soon. But now they are deployed on Arbitrum 1. And they are, you can already trade about 200 plus US stocks on their platform deployed on Arbitrum 1, which is good because before now, it is difficult to trade ETFs on chain, right? But Robinhood is bringing it on chain with Arbitrum 1. And they also announced that they would be launching their own chain very soon, Orbit chain very soon. So this is the Arbitrum ecosystem. You get to see a lot of Orbit chains, a lot of projects. Maybe you want to use DeFi projects, you want to play games, on-chain games. This is where you go on Arbitrum to find them. You can scan this QR code to get on the Arbitrum ecosystem portal, or you go to portal.arbitrum.io. All right, so this is what you meet when you get to the portal. You see a lot of projects, and you can also navigate your way to find whatever category that you want to find. All right, so governance on Arbitrum in 2023 was the birth of the Arbitrum DAO, an Arbitrum Foundation. So what this means is before 2023, everything that happens on Arbitrum was governed or was overseen by Off-Chain Labs. All right, these are the three founders of Off-Chain Labs. But in 2023, they transferred their ownership of Arbitrum 1 and Nova to the Arbitrum DAO. So this means that Arbitrum DAO has the full autonomy, the full power over the Arbitrum chains, and they are responsible for making decisions. So what do we do at Arbitrum Foundation? At Arbitrum Foundation, we serve as a neutral steward to the Arbitrum DAO. We make sure that whatever DAO decisions that the Arbitrum DAO makes comes to fruition. We make it happen at Arbitrum Foundation. All right. So also, Arbitrum DAO is a sustainable ecosystem on its own. You understand? The economy of the Arbitrum DAO is very, very sustainable because of time boosts also make it very sustainable because time boosts demonstrate Arbitrum's evolution from technical protocol to self-funding economic structure. And since the launch of Arbitrum, since the launch of time boosts, over $3 million in cumulative revenues have been generated. This, I can actually go on and on in time boost to explain, but because of our time, just know time boost is a way to generate income for the Arbitrum DAO as well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
thank you very
just
much.
A little bit. So Arbitrum also is everywhere. We are doing events around the world. So we are sponsoring Web3 Lagos Conference right now in Nigeria. We are doing amazing events as well across the world. And also, you can join the Arbitrum Ambassador Program. There's a open house going on right now in India where developers can join buildathons, and we have some people from Web3 Bridge on this as well. Okay, so this is QR code if you want to learn more about open house. I'm trying to rush because of my time. And also for builders, we have the Arbitrum bi-weekly newsletter where they learn about developer insights and stuff going on Arbitrum. So there are funding opportunities at Arbitrum as well for builders, a lot of funding, even for creators. You have the Kato leaderboard, Arbitrum Kato leaderboard that you can yap about project and Arbitrum and earn. So let me just go to the last slide I want you to see. You can become an Arbitrum ambassador. And what you do as an Arbitrum ambassador is you can lend your voice, and that's where you can also get to learn more about the Arbitrum ecosystem. To apply for the Arbitrum ambassador program, go to arbitrum.foundation/ambassador. So thank you for listening. I would be taking your questions. If you have any questions, feel free to scan the QR code and reach out to me on X or Discord. And we also have our booth outside that you can come up to, walk up to. If you have any question about Arbitrum, we'll be able to help you out.